Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. If you're new here, today's video is going to be my best and worst update on my recent luxury purchases. We'll alternate with best, worst purchase, etc. We'll start off with a Chanel, the Chanel Kelly Nano bag, otherwise also known as the Shopper or the Nano Shopper or the Nano Kelly bag. I got this fairly recent, not super recent anymore. It's been 6 months now, and I'm so glad that I finally got my hands on it after however long it's been. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been over a year and a half that I've been after this bag, plus another 6 months of waiting, so kind of like 2 years of waiting for this bag. And I hear that it's still so hard to get one because they literally fly off the shelves, usually to VIPs. I know some of my subbies shared with me that they also recently got their hands on theirs, and it's currently in the lambskin version, which is so gorgeous. 25A, they're gonna have a gold and a silver and like bronze version, which is wow, so cool. But black and gold is always gonna be super timeless, of course. Mine is in the distressed calf skin. I don't know how it compares to the lambskin, but for me, regardless, I just love the shape. I love the silhouette. I love how it looks when it's being carried, and I love the capacity because if you haven't seen my last video, I did a full comparison between this and the Mini Kelly from Hermes, and there's a huge difference as to what they fit. I heard that some people have experienced wear and tear on the corners, on the leathers, which is unfortunate. I really feel like Chanel should just figure out how to make their leathers robust again, because the premature wear and tear is definitely heartbreaking. Again, I don't use mine on a regular daily basis, so mine is still in pristine condition, of course, but yeah. I still love it though, regardless, because it's been a bag that I've been after for so long, and I love that I have it in my collection. I just love that it has a top handle. It's a little bit different from every other bag that I have, because currently I have classic flaps, mini flaps, I have Chanel 22s. I don't have one that's prim and proper like this one, so I love it for that reason. Okay, handbag worst purchase. The Mini Lindy also, it's a bag that I've been lusting for quite a while, but I made the mistake of asking for the color étoupe, which was my mistake. I know it still depends on the leather, I know for sure, but in Dorion Clémence étoupe, it was definitely muddy. With Hermes bags especially, there's not a lot of ways to avoid mistakes like that, because you either buy the bag when you get offered one, or you don't really ever get to try it on because they don't really have stock to try it on. Not like LV or even Chanel, sometimes you can still try on, even if they're really in demand, you can still maybe try on a different color. But with Hermes, they usually don't really have ready stock like that. It's a lesson learned the hard way for sure. Before we move on to my next best purchase, I wanted to share with you a brand that I recently discovered, and it is called Self Who. They are a clothing brand that integrates street DNA into high-end crafted ready-to-wear. Their designs usually focus on bold silhouettes, creative details, artistic prints, and their philosophy encourages self-expression through identity and not through trends. The first look that I wanted to share with you is this cute little top that I'm wearing with this matching skirt. You can purchase the two together or the top and the bottom separately. 100% cotton, very light and airy, and they're both, not only the skirt itself, but the top itself is also fully lined. By the way, in these try-on hauls and even currently, I'm not wearing any bras whatsoever, and it does not show through, which is so perfect. That's the way I like it. The top is a halter design with this removable pin. There's also these whimsical 3D details that are all embroidered onto the skirt. So there's this flower made of the same cotton fabric and these little round circle details throughout, and it's so darn cute. The back is plain, zippered opening right here. This is one of the qualities that I like about this outfit. You decided that you just wanted to be more comfortable, you just let everything flow. Otherwise, you can also tuck it in. And of course, you can wear it separately with little jean shorts. And with the skirt, you can pair with other types of tops. Here is the branding, the sizing for everything I took, which I will list down below as well. For reference, I took everything in size medium. This is a brand from Asia, so their sizing chart is a little bit different, so keep that in mind. The second set I have here is also in a blue color, but notice the blue color of this one is slightly darker. Again, with this coordinate, you can buy either the top or the bottom or both together. Of course, I like having the whole set so that I can just mix and match. The top itself is this really cute and whimsical vest-like design. It has elements of like an Asian collar plus these fluffy, really cute circle designs. By the way, everything is machine washable, which is amazing. But when it comes out of the wash, you just need to do a little bit of a steam and it will come back like this 3D little ball detail, which is so whimsical. It is cinched in, so it kind of gives you that ballooned effect. And this is the seam on the bottom, also fully lined. Again, with this try on, I also didn't have to wear a bra and it's completely not see-through. Even the color is so light. Again, this is more of a darker, lighter blue. This skirt is elasticated, however, and it also has pockets, which is slightly different from the other skirt. The material is a cotton blend, so it's 82% polyester fiber and 18% cotton. This is their striped knitted long sleeve top. It's part of their newest collection. And I think one of their signature is the smiley little patch, which is super whimsical. This is a cotton blend with 53% cotton and 47% acetate fiber. So it's a very nice and airy, I don't know if you can see it, a very nice and airy fabric. So it has a really nice drape, as you can see. Cute details on the sleeve. So on one side of the sleeves, it has like a faux double sleeve. And on the other side, you have a triple sleeve, which is super whimsical. I love the color contrast and the color blocking on this. This is their cotton blend vintage denim skirt, and it also comes with a matching vest if you want to get that as well. This turns out to be a silhouette that I didn't know I needed in my wardrobe. For me, ready to wear doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be super expensive. It just has to have really nice cutting, really nice tailoring, and just good material that feels comfortable. This skirt, I love that it has a really gorgeous pleating here in the front. So there's two pleating in the front and the matching pleating in the back. And because of that extra pleating, it gives you that extra volume. I live in skirts in the summertime especially, but this will be great for even the springtime because of its heavier fabric. Last but not least, we have this cute little number, which is their knitted striped waistcoat vest. Don't let the knit fool you because it's very lightweight and it's very airy, again because it's part of their spring summer collection. This fabric is 64% viscose and 35.9% nylon. They've styled it with all the buttons done except the very last one, which flares out the bottom here. This would transition really well into the fall as well because you could always just wear that on top of a turtleneck. This would look very good. They have different colorways. I love that this one has a little bit of brown so it can match with any of your gold Hermes bags. As usual, I'm gonna link every single piece that I featured in the info box. Based on everything I tried on so far, I'm thoroughly impressed with the quality as well as the designs, so check them out. Moving on to my next best purchase of the past year, and I have to include the Constance 18. Just like any other Hermes bags, there's really no way to know whether it will work out for you or not other than you buying it and just owning it for a while. And luckily, I thoroughly enjoyed wearing this in my Hong Kong trip. I am especially happy that mine is in Epsom as well as a casual color because I feel like the Constance with the slightly louder H hardware definitely lends itself to be a little bit more casual, which is perfect for traveling. I feel like for a bag that is not so prim and proper, I think a color that is slightly more casual is best suited for it. I also love that it's still gold hardware. I'm not so picky with hardware usually, but sometimes I do have a preference, and I think for this bag, because it's already on the casual side and I already have a casual color, then the gold hardware, which is a little bit more dressy, kind of juxtaposes it very well. I love the size. I think it just fits just enough for me. It can maybe be a slightly bigger. Maybe if it had a back pocket, it would be even more perfect. I always said that my Della Cavalleria, unfortunately, that is no longer in my collection. It's always been a little bit too masculine for me. So the fact that this one is similar silhouette but just more feminine for me is exactly what I needed. Amy, are you serious that these are your worst purchases because you raved about them? Let me explain. So these are the Chiara 40 Palms. They are absolutely gorgeous. I even wore it throughout the whole try-on video and this video. They're technically not worst of the worst purchases, but I do want to mention a couple of caveats when it comes to these shoes. Because of course, when I first bought them, I could only try them on for what, 5-10 minutes. That was just me trying them in the store and not really walking in real life. So of course I ended up wearing them for real and walking in real pavement and, you know, going from store to store. And that's when I realized that there's a couple of places that can be irritating, which I wanted to mention in this video. Like I said, I do love the silhouette of these shoes. I think they're gorgeous. They are a bit expensive, but one of the issues that you may have as well, the right foot didn't bother me as much, but the left foot did. This buckle part here where the leather attached to the shoe, and it doesn't move, it doesn't have any leeway, it doesn't have any give, it doesn't have any elastics anywhere to give it a little bit of break. So anytime you are taking a step, and especially if maybe the volume of your foot here is a little bit more than it allows here, because this part has a hardware on top, it can feel very hard. Like, it can feel a bit abrasive. I think because we're human, we're not symmetrical completely. Like, for some reason my left foot has maybe a bit more volume, or maybe because these are handmade and they made this side slightly tighter, I don't know. So I did find that it was a bit irritating here. I did try to stretch it a little bit. I did use like a tennis ball and I stuffed it with another pair of socks and tried to expand it a little bit. It did help a little bit, but that's one concern that I have with these shoes, that they're all handmade. They're not always going to be exactly supposedly the same size on both sides, or your feet are not the same size, and therefore because it doesn't have any give, it can be irritating. So not technically a worst purchase, because I do love these shoes and I love this color. This is it looks white, but it's a very, very light gray. It's so gorgeous, and it has a enamel matching color hardware, which is so gorgeous. This matches a lot of my outfits because I love to wear a cool tone and I love to wear light color in the summer. So I love these shoes, but it can be a slight irritation with this buckle part here that doesn't really move it. There's no flexibility at all. Moving on to my next best purchases, I will put them in the same category because they are both glasses. When I was in Asia, I decided to invest in a lot of Chanel glasses, especially a prescription pair, because in Hong Kong you're able to get not only a lot, just a lot of designs, because we just don't carry them as much here in North America, but they also have the Asian fit, so that it has a higher, or like a bulkier nose bridge, so that okay, I'm gonna be blind right now because I have my contacts already, but so they can fit a little bit higher onto your flat Asian face. But these are so gorgeous. I just love Chanel, the brand itself. The aesthetic is so nice, and these are great. I love them. I love all the CC details here. Similarly, this is another pair of Chanel glasses that I got. These are the they call it the tweed can't remember now, but it's like the tweed inspired design on the arms. It's so gorgeous. And this pair comes in several different colors. I chose the blue one because I just wanted something different. But I think if I was going back to Hong Kong, I would want to buy the black one as well. I just love these ones so much because they're polarized. So these are my favorite ones. I bought more than one pair of sunglasses, but these are my favorite ones because I love that these are polarized. I love that they're quite nice and big, but not overly big because then it would be too heavy. I love the design over here. I think it's just so gorgeous. Sporty from the front, but a little bit more kind of elegant and just very nice from the side. I just love these so much. And of course they are the Asian fit, and I love that these are polarized, which is the reason why they became my favorite, because it's just so much easier to drive with these versus my other ones which are not polarized. These are not super recent, but they are still brand new. And that is why I'm including in this video officially and once and for all, these are my worst purchases because I've never worn them. I actually own this same pair of sneakers in both the white and the black, and I think I'm gonna sell both of them. So obviously these white ones, they're completely brand new, like literally they are brand spanking new, never worn outside, only worn indoors in my try on videos, which is so silly. If there's one lesson I learned, and that is very, very personal to me and my condition, is that I cannot buy sneakers that are luxury branded. Not even Hermes. I just cannot do luxury branded sneakers. Sneakers for me are a functional apparel or functional footwear, and they need to be as light and as no break-in as possible. So far I love the brand On. Even then, not every single style will suit me because I have such problematic feet, joints, and skeletal problems that I just learned my lesson so hard. I need to stop buying luxury sneakers, which I have, but that is the reason why these are still brand new. The black ones I have worn a little bit, but they still look very new condition. I just need to clean off the bottom, but I am officially letting them go. So if anyone's interested, let me know. Oh, by the way, these laces are not original. I just wanted to play with the color because they originally came with black laces, and I just thought the black laces looked very dark. It just darkened the shoe a lot, so I just changed into these are the unofficial white laces, but I'm glad to include them if you're size 37 and a half and you want to buy these off of me, then please email me. They are literally so nice looking. Like, I just love how they look on the feet, but for me, I just become handicapped wearing these. I just cannot walk properly. Let's show you something that did work out instead, and I'm sure you've heard about me raving about these sandals already. These are the Hermes Constance 50, so it's a 50 millimeter height, and I love them. Now, are they the most pillowy, comfortable, like no break-in type of shoe? No. Don't get me wrong. You still have to break them in a little bit, especially for me because I'm so sensitive. If there's anybody in this world that will give you the most honest feedback in terms of shoe comfort, it would be me. These are good enough that I will tolerate the break-in, but they're comfortable enough for me that I feel like I can walk in them, not for serious walks, but you know, from here to there at events. The height is also perfect. It's a block heel, so it's very stable. I love the strap detail. It secures your foot, so it's not gonna fly away, because that's the thing with these shoes. They look like Orans, but they are way better than Orans. The Orans, they don't even stay on. The part that you may feel like you need to break in, at least in my case, is just like the leather here. especially the front part here. I guess that's where your toes tend to splay, and so it can feel a little bit hard here, especially because the leather, see how rigid it is? It's not like soft, it's not soft like Napa leather, right? It still is a calf skin and it can feel quite rigid. Unfortunately, these are still brand new, and I am gonna put it in the worst category because, as I mentioned before, I bought them thinking that I love the color, because I do love this color. I own the sheep sandals in this exact color and they are my most worn, and because I love the suede, they're the most comfortable. Suede is like, for me, close to no break-in. It's just so much softer than the calf skin, the regular calf skin. My issue is that the stability of these shoes are not great because there's nothing to hold onto your ankles. So it feels a bit unstable for me, even though they are a block heel. They're not super high, they're 60 millimeter. For a lot of Hermes shoes, I do find them a bit too wide, and so they do not stay in my foot. So, which is the reason why I still haven't worn them. But I have hope because I recently added a pair of these, I guess, insoles, and these are made of like a silicone gel material. I just bought them at Daiso, and I have hope that this will definitely help, and this is something that I'm gonna try out this summer because, I mean, I have the shoes, right? I might as well wear them. Just for reference, this is what I was talking about, insole, that you use it on the ball of your feet, and that way it gives you a bit of suction or grip, and so hopefully that way it won't fall off my feet all the time. So hopefully this will work, and if this works, then I know that for a lot of shoes I'm gonna need something like this. Maybe the Orans will end up working, hopefully, I don't know, but I'll try with these first. The Santorini, oh, look at this color, so gorgeous. I cannot wait for the weather to be really warm because I just love summer weather. So these are the Santorini in the color doré, in the chèvre leather. It's just the most dreamy color that Hermes is making. Last year, they're continuing to do that this year, and they added silver as well. But the Santorini, just like the Encense, I like that it has a bit more stability with the added strap. And I would say that for these shoes, I think because they're quite flat, if you have plantar fasciitis, which I sometimes do, again, flat feet, a lot of problems, it may not be the best support that way. Like you won't get arch support because they're so flat. A saving grace, especially for me, is that I did size up in these. Normally I'm a 37.5 across the board, but this is a pair of 38, and I think that is why it's working, because they do, for some reason, I think these are narrow. That's the problem with Hermes. Sometimes they're wide, sometimes they're narrow. I find these to be a bit narrow, so sizing up half a size works out to be, I feel like, the perfect size for me. A lot of my worst purchases are things that I bought and have never used. This is another example of it. Twillys. One day I decided to just explore and buy a couple Twillys because everyone on YouTube raves about Twillys, or everyone seems to buy them, even though I don't really know what they buy it for, whether they buy it for their bags or if they wear it. I thought that, you know what, maybe I'll just buy a couple. Such a silly reason to decide to buy them. So that's what I realize now. Don't buy Twillys because I don't wear them anyway, and I don't put them on my bags anyway, so why am I buying Twillys? Unless I think for me the only exception is unless I actually do use them in my bags, because I think I tried wearing them on my neck and I'm just not, I just don't think I'm a neck Twilly person. They just look too formal, and if I'm gonna need it for a specific bag, it has to match the bag as well, right? So I got a white one and I got a black one. I could maybe put it on my, I don't know, I could maybe put it on my Birkin or Kelly, but I just don't think it will match because it's not really, it's black and gray, it's kind of black and white, it's not really the vibe. I almost forgot to mention this bag because it is one of my recent bags as well. This is the mini Bolide, and it's the black color with palladium hardware, and it's in the chèvre misard, which is goat skin. And this is not part of it, but of course you can always add extra charms. This is the Brody charm. Mini Bolide, I think, has kind of really blown up in popularity recently. I especially like it because it does feel very luxurious in the tactile department. I feel like the bag itself and the shape itself is not super out of the ordinary. We've seen a lot of these dome-shaped bags by a lot of brands. I like it also because the aesthetic is quite feminine. It's quite simple, but it also has enough space, but it's very petite as well, and I like that. I like a lot of the aesthetic qualities with it, and the added strap is nice too. The strap is also a little bit longer than the mini Kelly, which is always great. And so yeah, the Bolide for me, the mini size especially, is one of my favorite bags that Hermes makes, and I feel like I like this bag so much that I wouldn't mind getting a different color. Another scarf purchase that made it into the worst purchase, it is this particular one because of, I think, again, with the color combo. It's just not my color. At least, I mean, it can work if I really tried hard enough to style it, but it's just not the kind of color that I should go for normally. And yeah, it's this one. So this one, I still have the tags on because it's literally unworn. It's called the Figure Libre. And I have here in the color orange, cream, and noisette. Totally an influence purchase, which is kind of my mistake to be influenced, because I guess my SA knows that I love scarves, so she always tries to ask me, oh, any new scarves you want. Anyway, this was her suggestion because she likes this scarf a lot, but she had it in a different colorway which was sold out. And so this was the only other color that seemed okay on my skin tone. I don't know. It's still not the greatest. I really need to get a color analysis. But that is the reason why I bought it, because at the time I was thinking it's in the same color family. On the other hand, I do have scarves that are great and best purchases, and these two happen to be it. This one especially is a scarf that I saw, that I liked, that I decided to buy, and this is, well, still sold, I think, in store, which is why I'm showing it here. Super Silk Quest, because it looks like the arcade game console. It has a bunch of different things, like little dragons, little animals. It has a Kelly in the middle, a Birkin here. And I just love these kinds of cool colors, like cool tone colors. They just work so well. And I love wearing this one as a top, as you guys already know. That's how I like to wear my scarves. But this is definitely one of my favorites. I just love big contrasting colors that are vibrant and cool tone. Even with this one, right? It has a cream undertone, which is more warm tone. But because it has a lot of blues, I think that's why it works quite well on me. See, the blues just contrast so well with my skin tone and the grays. This one is another one of the really gorgeous one. This one is Harnais de Coeur. Very, very, very nice scarf. Really, really nice. So I definitely have best and worst purchases for scarves too, but it comes down to colors. Another worst purchase that I've already talked about in the past, but I'll just reiterate here because it's a good summary. It's the Plein Air Complexion Balm. So it's kind of like their SPF CC cream. I got influenced by many people on the beauty community, including Michelle Wong, Kat L. They all said that the CC cream from Hermes, they ended up loving it. One of my worst purchases, because every time I wore it, it gave me a huge headache because of the fragrance. Powders are a little bit better, but creams, anything creams, lotions, soaps from Hermes, ugh. they just give me such big headaches. I just cannot buy anything fragrance from them, which is definitely made it in the worst purchase for me. I ended up giving away the CC cream because it's really a good formula. It's a great texture, but I just can't tolerate it. On the other hand, and we'll finish off with the best purchase. In the past, I've only been using the Dior Forever Concealer, and it was so good that I definitely repurchased it. So I decided this year I'm gonna try their makeup. Also the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. I just use it quite sparingly on my face, but it has really great coverage. It has a nice powdery finish. Because I have dry skin, I don't even need to powder on top of it, especially in the summertime. If it's a little bit hot, the oils coming out from my pores will just kind of melt with the matte finish of the foundation, which gives it a really nice sheen, which is what I love right now on my face, which you guys have noticed recently on my face. A lot of you have been asking me what foundation I've switched to, and that is exactly what it was, the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. It's one of my favorite. There is still a fragrance, but it's so much more lighter, and also dissipates compared to the Hermes, and the price is so much better too. Unfortunately, I tried to like the Hermes because, you know, pre-spend, and I always give everything a chance. It is the summertime, which I know is probably why the foundation is working quite well, because it's a matte finish. In the winter time, it might be a bit drying, so I might need to use more serums before my foundation. I'll definitely report back on that, but those are my best and worst purchases. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, I hope you do so. I would love to have you back, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.